Everyone. This is your host, Cora Dive, bringing you another foray into mythology. Today, we will be exploring Po-Wan the Generous, a myth out of China. So, let's have a look at who we will be dealing with. We have Po-Wan, a generous young man. Mother, the mother of Po-Wan. A beggar who is a penniless person. A serpent who is an enormous reptile. An innkeeper who is a keeper of an inn, obviously. The daughter who is the innkeeper's daughter. Widow who is a wealthy woman. And Kuan-Yin, goddess of mercy. Now that we have the basics, let's go. Long ago in the province of Chiking, there was a wealthy family by the name of Chin. A son was born to the family, and they named him Po-Wan, which means million. Chin means gold, so it seemed Chin Po-Wan was destined to be worth 1,000,000 pieces of gold. But even from an early age, Po-Wan loved to spend money instead of hoarding it. Although he did not spend money on himself, he gave it freely to others. Son, where are the gold coins I gave you just this morning for your allowance? Have you spent them already? I don't have them, mother, but I did not spend them either. I gave them to a widow and her orphans that we passed in the street. Po-Wan, the man who spends more money than he makes will end in poverty. I must do what I can to help others, mother. If you live your life like that, not even 1,000,000 gold coins could support you. Your father is dead, and our fortune must pass on to you. Do not squander it, my son. Mother, I must respectfully ask, is helping others truly squandering our fortune? Oh my. Po-Wan's mother, too, died, and the family fortune passed on to him. His generosity continued. All the poor man had to do was hold out his hand, and Po-Wan would pour gold into it. Soon his riches melted away. Easy come, easy go, they say. I still believe good fortune comes to those who help others. If I continue to be kind, my fortunes will change for the better. Yet it was not so. Before too long, Po-Wan scarcely had enough food for himself. His clothes were threadbare, and his house was always cold for want of fire. One day, he was lifting a meager bowl of rice to his lips, and he spied a beggar walking by, one who seemed even hungrier and more destitute than he. He rushed out to the beggar's side. Here, my friend, take a portion of this for yourself. Oh, my, thank you. You're a kind man to share this with me. I saw how hungry you looked, and I wanted to help. You remind me of the living Kuan-Yin. Who? The goddess of mercy. Surely you've heard of her, as kind as you are. She blesses those who have mercy on others. Well, she's not blessed me. I help everyone I can, but I become poorer and poorer. Perhaps I'm wrong to help others. No. The living Kuan-Yin was a mortal, once like you and me. She grew so wise that she attained enlightenment, and she was given permission to ascend into heaven. But she didn't, you see. As she was going into heaven, she heard the cries of the poor and helpless. So she remained living, staying here on earth to do what good she can for others with her powers. Well, if she blesses mortals for helping others, why have I not been blessed? I've never spent extravagantly. I've never done an evil deed. What have I done to deserve such a poor life? I'm not wise enough to speak for the living Kuan-Yin, but you should go ask her yourself. She lives on the edge of the South Sea. I can't go all the way to the South Sea. I've got a house to take care of. Wait, I lost that. I've got servants to feed? No, they've all packed up and left. I have nothing. Then you have nothing to lose. If you go there, she will answer 3 questions. 3 questions? I only have 1. Perhaps you will think of others by the time you reach your abode. Thank you, kind sir. I hope my information has paid you back for your kindness. Well, Po-Wan had nothing holding him back, so he left his home country behind and traveled for many weeks in unfamiliar lands. His travel was uneventful until he found his way barred by a wide and furiously flowing river. As he stood first on one foot, then on the other, wondering how he could possibly get across, he heard a sliding sound above him. Ah! A giant serpent had extended itself down from the cliffside above him. Upon the serpent's forehead were encrusted 7 pearls, and its body was as big as a temple column. Please, don't eat me. Well, you are a tasty morsel. I would love to eat you, but I'm practicing to become a dragon. You must practice to become a dragon. Of course, silly biped. Dragons are the wisest and most patient of beings. When I am wise enough, I will become one. I have been practicing self-denial for 1,000 years in hopes that I will one day turn into a dragon. Why do you deny yourself? Tasty travelers such as yourself. Oh, thank goodness. Where are you traveling? I'm going to the South Sea to visit the living Kuan-Yin and ask her a question. Are you? Would you ask her a question for me? Of course. I may ask 3 questions, and I only have one of my own. Oh, thank you. I see that my self-denial is paying off. If I had gobbled you up, I would have missed out on this wonderful favor. Please, ask the goddess why I have not turned into a dragon, although I have denied myself for 1,000 years. I will ask her. Well, I would ask her, but this river is barring my way. This thing is merely a trickle. Let me help you. The snake slithered its head through Po-Wan's legs and lifted him across the flood, setting him safely down on the opposite shore. See? Nothing to it. Thank you, self-denying serpent. I will return with the mercy goddess's answer. See that you do. I can't wait to fly. Po-Wan continued his journey, but by noon he was very hungry. Fortunately, a nearby inn offered meals at a price he could afford. Next to nothing. Hello, good sir. I need to buy a small bit of rice. Ah, yes. I assume you can pay. I can pay, but only very little. Hmm. Then you shall eat very little. Fair enough. From across the room, Po-Wan saw a beautiful yet sad-faced girl gathering dishes from a nearby table. While waiting for his bowl of rice, Po-Wan chatted with the innkeeper. How did you make it across that river? It's quite flooded this time of year. Oh, the serpent there on a cliff helped me across. Did he? I know that serpent and I respect him. Not only because he denies himself the taste of human flesh, but he never allows bandits and thieves to pass by him. He's an honorable snake. Then Po-Wan told the innkeeper of his quest to visit the living Kuan-Yin. Oh, my. Then let me prevail upon your generosity to ask the goddess a word for me. Of course, I have 3 questions and I'm only asking 2 so far. I have a beautiful daughter who is wonderfully amiable and pleasing of disposition, but she's never uttered a word in her life, and she's nearly 20. I would be very much obliged if you'd ask the living Kuan-Yin why she's never spoken. Of course, it would be my pleasure. Po-Wan traveled on toward the South Sea. The next nightfall found Po-Wan far from any inn, but there were houses in the neighborhood. He rapped on the door of one house to ask for lodging. The owner, a wealthy widow, was pleased to offer him a bed in a fine chamber, but first begged him to partake of a hot meal and good drink. She showed Po-Wan her garden. Although it had a fine, tall wall around it, nothing grew there. See my sadness? For 20 years from the time this house was built, my garden has been cultivated with the utmost care. Yet, in all those years, not one tree or plant has bloomed or produced fruit. Can you believe it? No bird comes to sing, or bee to gather nectar. Well, some things in life do not make sense. That's why I'm going to ask the living Kuan-Yin why I have remained so poor in life. Are you? I do not want to be a bother, but would you ask the goddess why my garden has never bloomed, even in all these years? Of course I will. You see, I can ask the goddess 3 questions and I have only... Oh, my. Po-Wan realized that he had just promised his 3rd question. What is it? Something the matter? Oh, no, nothing. Po-Wan smiled sadly. The next day, Po-Wan traveled onward and examined the quandary in which he now found himself. Well, which question will I fail to ask? I've given 3 others my word that I'll ask their questions. If I don't ask my question, the whole quest will be in vain. But if I leave out one of their questions, I will have broken a promise. A promise should never be made if it cannot be kept. I did make those promises, so I therefore must keep them. And this journey won't be in vain. I've helped others, as I've always striven to do. At last, he came to the South Sea. and the living Kuan-Yin rose from the sea before him, seating her immortal glory upon the spread petals of a fragrant flower. Goddess of mercy, I've come to ask some questions of you. Po-Wan, I know you and your heart. You are selfless and kind. You may ask me 3 questions and no more. The first, I ask for a friend, the serpent on the cliff near the river. I know him well. A kinder snake never lived. Yes, but why is he not yet a dragon, although he's practiced self-denial for 1,000 years? Oh, that is easy. Upon his head are 7 pearls. If he removes 6 of them, he will become a dragon. Oh, I see. Thank you, goddess. The second question I ask for a friend, an innkeeper. Even though his daughter is 20 years of age, she's never spoken. Ah, I know her well. A lovely girl never lived. Why does she not speak? It's her fate to remain mute until she sees the man who is destined to be her husband face to face. Oh, I see. Thank you, goddess. The third question I ask for a friend, a rich widow who lives in the town near here. I know her well. She makes her home open to many unfortunate strangers. Why are there never blossoms in the rich widow's garden, although she's tended it carefully for 20 years? Buried in the garden are 7 big jars filled with silver and gold. The flowers will bloom if the owner will rid herself of half that treasure. Oh, I see. Thank you, goddess, for your wisdom. You are kind and wise, Po-Wan, because you asked no questions for yourself. May good fortune go with you. Po-Wan smiled sadly. Thank you, goddess. The goddess descended back into the sea as easily as she had ascended. Then that's it. Somewhat sadly, Po-Wan turned back homeward. He felt as if he were leaving empty-handed. Well, I asked nothing for myself, but at least I've helped others on my journey. As he traveled, he reached the home of the rich widow once again and told her the goddess's answer. Buried treasure? Will you help me dig it up? Of course. Once they had unearthed the 7 huge jars, the widow turned to Po-Wan. This treasure must have some magic in it to make my garden barren. I will give you half of it for helping me. Oh, no, it belongs to you. Nonsense. I'm already rich. I will give it to you, and you will be rich too. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. Even though the gold and silver was very heavy, Po-Wan continued until he came to the innkeeper, who greeted him warmly. His beautiful daughter was standing by his side. Po-Wan, you're back. What did the goddess say? Po-Wan was about to answer, but another voice spoke first. Yes, Po-Wan, tell us what she said. The girl's hands flew to her mouth in shock. Daughter! I spoke those words in my heart, as I've always done, but this time they came from my lips. My daughter spoke! Yes, but I do not understand. The goddess said she would only speak when she beheld the face of the man she was to marry face to face. Then it all makes sense to me. You two must be married. Really? Would she want to? Of course, Po-Wan. Once my father told me of your kindness to us, I knew you were a man worthy of my love. Well, then it's settled. She will be your wife. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. So, Po-Wan was married to the innkeeper's daughter, and the two continued on toward Po-Wan's home. Thank you for curing me, Po-Wan. I have had so many things to say, but my tongue could never speak what was in my heart. What is your hometown like? Well, it's wonderful, but I'm considered a fool there, for I squandered my family's fortune helping others. No man is a fool who lightens the burdens of another. Po-Wan and his new love reached the cliffside where the giant serpent dwelt. I must speak with my friend here. Do not be alarmed. He is a giant serpent, but one who is kind to humans. The giant serpent lowered its head from the cliffs. Po-Wan, you're back, looking as tasty as ever, unfortunately. What did the goddess say? She said you would finally become a dragon if you removed 6 of the pearls from your forehead. What? That's so simple. But what should I do with them? Give them to Po-Wan? Of course. What good are they to me anyway? So the serpent dropped 6 of its 7 pearls to the earth. When it did, its body began to writhe and change. It sprouted arms and claws. Long hairs grew out from its snout, and a beard of wisdom from its chin. The serpent, which was now a dragon, rose into the air amid a cloud of smoke and flame. Its sole remaining pearl glowed in its forehead like a beacon. Look at me! I am a dragon! I am a dragon flying, breathing fire and smoke. And the best part of all, no more wisping. All Po-Wan noticed was the massive teeth that now filled the dragon's jaws. Please, dragon, do not eat us now that you are powerful. Nonsense. These years of self-denial have taught me true wisdom. Thank you for sparing me. Thank you for helping me. As the dragon faded into the sky, Po-Wan's new wife threaded her arm through his and laid her head upon his shoulder. My husband is the kindest man in all China. I must thank the goddess of mercy. She has made me happier than I ever thought I could be. So, Chin Po-Wan returned to his home, richer and more generous than he had ever been before. This is the end of Po-Wan the Generous. What did you think of Po-Wan's giving up his question for the other people? What do you think will happen once he returns home? Well, next time we will read another foray into mythology. This is your host, Cora Dive, signing off.